Hello, internet. I think it's been a few days, yeah. How have you guys been, man? I've been busy. That's the only reason I didn't do this. Let's see. I forget the last time I did it. It was kind of mid anyway. Oh yeah, we played Blair Witch for like not even an hour. Yeah. Um, Tonight that's not gonna happen. We're gonna be having a lot of fun tonight. It is the weekend indeed. We made it through another one. I'm about to remove this hat. Hold on. That's a little bit better. But yeah, it is Friday Fun Day. We're gonna be. Hold on. Let me make sure I read this correctly. Yeah, it's gonna be. It's gonna be a little bit of League, a little bit of music first. I just kind of want to jam a little bit. I might record something. Matter of fact, yeah, I am gonna record something, but it's not gonna. It's probably just gonna be like guitar tracking. Let me see what else. Yeah, then I'm gonna play some League. I ran into another champion named Aurelia. And I have never gotten my ass kicked that hard in a video game since like I started playing video games. And that's even it's like speaking for League of Legends, which I mean, if you've watched, you obviously know that I'm not that good. Second off, I am going to be practicing with this new champion, Aurelia. She's like duelist melee type. Far different from Ahri. I probably still will play as Ahri. But see, the thing is, like, I've realized pretty much the entire time I've been playing as Ahri, I have been, like, my whole mindset on how she's supposed to work as a champion, I realized it was pretty wrong. And I think that's where a lot of my lack of skill has been originating, other than my lack of experience. My lack of experience. But give me 1 second. But yeah, Aurelia, she's a duelist, melee. She's a little bit more complex as far as like combos and like strategies, let's say. But I did a little bit of studying last night, like on how she's supposed to be played. I'm gonna do something with this light. Holy shish. That's the best it's gonna get. Sorry. But yeah, I did some research on like her moveset and like her overall style and what she's really good at and what she's not good at. So I'm trying to essentially do the same thing today. Maybe do a few videos like watching to kind of recap that knowledge that I went through last night. But yeah, then we're gonna try and put it to the test. I played a little bit last night. I stayed up kind of way too late. Woke up, with not that much sleep. Hey, it's all good. It's Friday. It was my last day for the week, so we're good. Now next week, however, like as far as this coming week, I cannot even begin to give you any kind of schedule. First of all, because I'll be having a few 12-hour shifts this coming week. So on those days, I will not be here for sure, unless something changes, of course. But because I mean, you do the math. That's half your day. Like you better come home. Like if you want 8 hours of sleep, you better come home. Get your shit ready for tomorrow. Maybe play a few games and then get ready to go to bed, right? Because at that point, you got 4 hours till you got to go to bed. Until that 24-hour point hits, half your day is your shift, and you know that's fine. Like I've done longer than 12 hours before. I've done 14 days in a row. I've done more than that. Like it's nothing new. It's just my body currently is not used to that. So I gotta make sure like I get some decent nutrition and like stay hydrated. Blah blah blah. You know. Gotta take care of yourself, right? You got to, because if you don't, you'll end up feeling it, and you'll wish you did. All right, so I am going to listen to this one more time. This is 1.31, which is the one I was working on last time. Actually, is that true? Yeah, the one last time. Hold on, I got to change the mic up. Check. Okay. Let me make sure this audio didn't fuck up real quick. Just to be sure, because I have made this mistake before. So I want to make sure that I actually learned something from them instead of just repeating them. There it is. Okay, let me make sure that this is working real quick. Also, my nose is so itchy right now, so if you see me doing that, don't think I'm like picking my nose or something. Let me play an instrument real quick and make sure that it's coming through that way. Also, let me make sure all the unused tracks are muted so that I do not blow anyone's eardrums out. How do you guys feel about Voodoo Rangers? Like the IPA? Opinions, thoughts? I personally am a fan. I think the Juice Force is probably one of the better ones. But I honestly I can't drink IPAs all the damn time. Although I have in the past. But I don't know, man, like the flavor, it's good. It's definitely an acquired taste, but see, the thing about it is, like, I just like, they're really good, but I gotta switch it up when it comes to any kind of, special water. I don't even know what I can and can't say. I should probably research that. But okay. From what I heard, it was working. So now to play an instrument. Oh. Oh yeah, make sure to, if you're playing an electric guitar, here's a really, really big tip for you, just in case like you're new or something. When you try to play the electric guitar, make sure that you plug it in. Yeah, so when you plug it in, it actually makes the noise. How about that, right? Okay. Let me unmute a track also. We should be good. Let me make sure this is centered. Like, not panned. Okay, yeah. It's not. I don't think that's, oh yeah, that's something else. I forget I made a specific track for when I'm streaming and trying to play. Hold on. Okay, why is that happening? Why are we getting that going on? I'm gonna have to leave this going for a second, so bear with me, cause this is not functioning the way it's supposed to. My nose is so fucking itchy, y'all. I cannot even tell y'all why. Matter of fact, I think I do know why. Cause like, at my job, sometimes there's like a bunch of fluff in the air, and by fluff I mean like super thin, like dust or like wood particles, like wood pulp. Not to the point to where I'm required to wear a mask via OSHA, but it has been making me sneeze a lot lately. And my nose has been getting like really itchy and shit. Not that I think like I'm allergic or whatever, but I just think that personally, I don't know, I should start wearing a mask. Cause my nose is like dummy sensitive. Alright, so I need to figure out why this is not. Cause none of my damn knobs are anywhere they shouldn't be. Fucking. What if I do that? This. That's also, wait. That's mono. I mean, it's stereo. So what the fuck? I can't deal with this nose, guys. I just can't. What am I doing? Yeah, that's panned. Which one is this again? I was supposed to play it like 25 minutes ago. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna mute the microphone for a second just so I don't create like a feedback loop or anything like that. Okay. Okay, yeah, so everything's working how it should be working, but still at the same time I cannot explain why I'm getting DI coming through and also the amp sim at the same time. That's not what I mean. Some people might want that, but to me, no, because it doesn't sound very good on broadcast. Because you can physically hear like what I mean by DI is direct input. So basically, the raw sound that your guitar is making, like no distortion, no nothing, just straight up raw output that comes from the guitar into the either head if you're playing like with a cab and whatnot, like a real amp, or into your analog to digital converter. I about said it backwards. Okay, let me figure out why this ain't. Is it because I gotta mute the mic when I play? Hold on, I gotta pull this back up, y'all. Give me 1 sec. Okay, yeah, let me mute it real quick. this connected to something? Like, where's my check check? Why is this so quiet? I don't know. Maybe one day we'll find out. Okay, here we go. Mute this. Okay, check check again. Is it working? It is working. Okay. I'm gonna leave this on standby. Also, one more thing I remembered, I gotta put my nose ring back in before it seals up again. I'm not trying to deal with all that. Give me actually no, I think my shit can reach. Honestly, hold on, that might be baller. Yeah. And then when I come back to the chair, I can just move this little magnet. I'm fooling with my wires and how they're like secured under my desk and whatnot. Hold on. Actually, no, that I might as well just leave it where it's at. Okay, give me like 2 minutes, not even that probably, so that I can turn this off first of all. Second of all, put this back in. Can you even see that? Oh my fucking god. They back. They back. Jim Maples. Does that mean something, or is that just like just a funny thing to say? Jim Maples. But yeah, let's see. We were trying to fix the DI still going. Where's my mouse? Holy hell. Is this thing dead? Pair my new mouse? What do you mean? I've had this thing for like 5 years. Not 5, probably like 4 to be actually real. Failed to connect. What do you mean? I'm using it right now. I don't understand the sorcery that's going on here. Okay, yeah. Let me reopen Reaper. Let me reopen. And then make sure everything's working. Oh, what are you on Twitch? Oh, I thought I put the auto mod on this. I guess not. Thanks for reminding me to update my auto mod settings, bro. I really appreciate it. Now if I can just figure out how to do it, then we'll be golden. I think I need to be in the actual like browser to do this, correct? Or incorrect? Wait. Yeah, I'm onto something. I'm onto something. Who's live right now? Okay. Okay, I'm taking it in. Taking it in. Okay. Yeah, on a side note, I'll be doing a VTuber tier list. And that will be like, I don't know, sometime in the next week or so, maybe. But it's gonna be like, you know, how like for each one, there's the categories. It'll be like fucking how often I watch them in terms of like with a 1 month interval, basically like that month. And then let's see, all time, and that's gonna be, I don't know, I'm gonna make that clever sometime. Or oh my god, look at me. My point is, I'm gonna set up a category that is like all time most watched, and then I'm also gonna have another time category based on how much I've watched that VTuber in a month. Then okay, we'll have those two, and I'm not sure on the order, like what's gonna go to S, what's gonna go to A, B, C, etc. But I'm right now where I'm at. I'm just trying to think of categories because I mean I've seen a lot of them, and I do enjoy watching them, for sure, man. But yeah, I feel like a tier list would be pretty fun to do, no doubt. I keep talking myself out of what I'm trying to do in terms of just overall forgetfulness. I can't even speak either. Bro, what was I just trying to do? I didn't totally fucking forgot. Oh yeah, I was gonna do something with the auto mod. Honestly, I don't even care anymore. So I'm just gonna go back to what I was doing. It's not even worth the effort, to be real. I'll set it up another time. Where's my Weepa? There's that. Okay. Nice. Hold on, I gotta open another water real quick. But I'll let this play one more time, and then I'll check the audio on my live input from the guitar and see if it's still got the DI going. Cause I honestly don't know why it's doing it. I'm using the same preset as everything else, but honestly, I'm just gonna open up a new one and see if that works. It's crazy that the fact that like no matter how many times like I switch in and out of these products or close Reaper or switch to the wrong project and blah blah blah, Reaper like I don't know, Reaper's pretty good, man. This microphone never fucks up. So those two are not an issue whenever I try to stream and produce at the same time. But that guitar, oh boy. You wanna stream the audio off that? Let me tell you, like I tried since fucking what is it now? February, since like December to try and figure out how I could stream my DAW. And what I mean by that is straight. You see how it's got. Hold on. Let me see my mouse. First of all these little tracks over here are different instruments. The orange is the whole drum kit. The two blue are the bass and the bass DI, which is direct input. Then purple, we got some synth stuff. We got a chord synth. We got a sub synth. We got another chord synth. We got a lead, and then the vocals on top. And then all down here in the red, that's all guitar stuff. Those are all guitar tracks. Obviously, this is a new template. But if I were to switch back to the other one, for example, you'll see that all this is the same so that I don't have to rebuild that every single time. And it's actually extremely useful. So that's basically what I do. So this is kind of like a blank slate for me. I could add stuff, I could take away stuff, I could record something here, I could record something there, all over at any time. It's a blank slate, basically. It has some good water. Okay, so let me make sure that this is working real quick. So I'm just gonna record God knows what, just to make sure I have everything set up on the output side. Oh Lord, please don't do that. Don't make that kind of noise. I gotta get warmed up. I'm kind of rusty. I didn't play yesterday. I try to play every day, so like not like at least doing a little bit of like tempo work. It doesn't take that much time. I should not be doing that. What else was I about to take? I was about to take care of something else too. Again, I still don't know why the DI is coming through for that. See, like you shouldn't be hearing that right there. That bow. That's an F, first of all, but you shouldn't be hearing that. because the way I have everything set up is not supposed to be mixing the DI with the post production. Like, I'm only supposed to be hearing one signal. I'm not supposed to be hearing both, you know. And if you've worked on music before, you'll probably understand what I'm saying. But if you've not worked on music before or used a DAW, you probably will not understand the majority of what I'm talking about. But that's fine, because that's how you learn. That's how I learned. Is I sat through a bunch of shit over and over that I didn't know anything about, and then eventually over time I stuck with it, and I've learned what I've learned. And I feel like if you do the same, then you will actually accomplish the goals that you are trying to accomplish. And I entirely forgot what I was about to say after that. Damn. Oh yeah. I was about to make sure that this is working, because it has a tendency to not, you know? Where's my damn... Actually, you know what? It's time for one of these. I do like mints. Peppermints, more specifically. But any kind of mint is pretty good. Where'd my pick go? You know what? I'm gonna use a different one. Okay, this one ain't broke. There you go. It ain't too bad. Why is that happening, man? I really, really want to know why that's happening. What's on this? Check. Bro, what? See, this is the frustrating thing, because I'm really trying to think about like what's causing the DI to just shine through. Yes, I know I have these right here that say DI, direct input, but if you look closely, the little red circle is not highlighted red, so you know they're not live. So it kind of disproves that being an option, but like I don't think it's anything down here for sure. It's definitely not any of this either. Like all the tracks, it's not a track issue, it's something else. And it's so very frustrating. Like I wish somebody who knew like more than me about this stuff would just randomly meet me one day and say, "Hey, you got to do this. This is how you This is how you use automation in a DAW. This is how you use all these other super useful tricks and tips that would fucking help improve your production." Like, I'm serious. Like, having, I've never had, like, I've never gone to a stranger and paid for a class. I've never gone to any kind of music class except when I was in school, and I couldn't even tell you what age I was, but I did have a little bit of piano also growing up. But guitar is something I picked up when I moved back down to South Carolina. So that'd be, let's see, I moved down here in like 2022 at some point in that year. Yeah, 2022. Shit, I think it was cold. So maybe it was either early in the year or late. Actually, no. I'm not gonna say that because that might not be true. I really don't know for certain. But yeah, fucking. I still don't think this is gonna work. I mean, it work. I shouldn't say work because I mean it technically works, but I really, I really don't want to hear all that DI action going on. Let me see if I can't do something about that. See, this thing, you really don't have much control over this, this little 2i2 3rd gen. I mean, it's a very good product. Don't get me wrong. Like, Focusride's great. But, you know, in a sense, you get what you pay for it. And I don't mean that in a negative way. Sorry about that. Golly. What in the... Hold on, let me see. Okay, you know what? This is gonna be super shit of me, but it's time to jump into a game, because this is giving me troubles, and I'm not trying to deal with that. So yeah, let me just get rid of this. No, I do not want to save a blank. Okay. Yep, get out of here. I've done enough bullshitting around. I think it's time to get serious. I don't know. I do really want to play guitar though. But I know that I'm going to have to put a lot of thought into it. And there's always tomorrow, which I am off tomorrow. So that means more time. I tell you what, before I run any league, I am going to watch a couple like refresher videos. Cause like I said, I got a little taste of it last night. But it was only like 3 or 4 games. Let's see. Let's watch something like that. Oh my god, I actually spelled everything right. Spelt. Yes, I know. Spelt. It is spelt. I do want to watch like a decent length video, but I don't want it to be like an hour and a half. I'm looking for like a 20 to 30 minute, if that. Season 15. What is the current one? Season 16? Thank you, Adblock. Thank you.
Paramount Plus is available on YouTube. Press play on something new.
This isn't just
Okay.
Yo guys, Young here. I'm a professional League of...
Oh, he's a pro. Okay. Good to know. We'll full screen this and see what this guy has to say. He just said he's a I don't know the colors of that jersey, black and white. Holy man. It's the end of the week. Cut me some slack. Okay, this guy's a pro. And I don't know what the black and yellow colorway is.
Legends player, and Irelia Mid has been one of my favorite champs to play in both competitive and in solo queue.
Okay.
Here is my quick guide where I'll be covering the basics and some more advanced tips that I have for mastering Irelia Mid. Please subscribe because it helps motivate me to make free educational content.
Yeah, subscribe to this guy, man. His name is Young. He's an up-and-coming guy. He's much larger than me. People seem to be happy with the video. You guys should definitely come check him out.
Something like this, and thank you for watching. Love you all, and peace. Let's get into runes and items. For starters, here is the rune.
Let me get my pen and paper. Y'all weren't expecting that. Ooh, I about knocked my microphone over. That's not good. Where the pen? Yes. We have pen. Let me get rid of all this mail. And this knife, which I don't think I'm allowed to show. So I won't. Okay.
Page I use for almost every game.
Was that Conquer? I think. Is he gonna put up text?
On Irelia, and I'll really only change the secondary page to resolve like this if I'm versus heavy.
Okay, you know what? That's what we're gonna do. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out like how I should sketch this out. Cause I want it to be like rereadable. I don't want to just like scribble some shit down and like absolutely forget about it, right? Cause that kind of defeats the entire purpose. I wish he put text on the screen though. I'm gonna see if I can find one that I can more easily transcribe on this here sheet and paper. Okay, this is about specifically season 16.
You were trapped by.
Also, if y'all haven't played this game yet, y'all should definitely give it a try. It is very good. I haven't played that much of it. I'm still kind of new to the genre as a whole. But no doubt for sure, like y'all should at least check it out. It's free to play. It's a very good game. Like I said, I'm still very early in, but I've had a lot of fun in the few hours I've played. It's a good game. The characters are cool. The mechanics are dope. The fighting is dope, and so much more. So let me make sure this is working. I'm about to turn this damn light off, bro. That lamp, that fucking light, dumb. Oh yeah.
A meaningless duty that was never yours. A path already proven to end in utter.
Good game though.
The first game of the season. Let's see how it's going to be. Actually, I had to try so many runes like Cashback, Jack of all trades. But this game I want Jack of all trades. And from what I have understood, Hullbreaker has so much value right now because you can get gold from every tower.
Okay.
I failed my Q
That
somehow.
makes sense, maybe. Gotta watch something, man.
She is hard pushing, so I can't do anything to this.
Dude, it's so fucking dark, man. What do I do?
I'm gonna get stunned by Talia, but I will try to hit my E at the same time so I can kill her. Now I can try.
It's still pretty bad.
Yep, she's dead.
Yeah,
That
it's
was the only way
still-
for me
it's
to
still
solo kill
really
her.
bad.
There's two ways to solo kill her, like one of
But
them is like this and the other
it's
way is
working,
waiting her
so
E.
I will
Then
not
you can go in.
bitch.
I'm gonna push the lane and recall.
Oh man, look at that pause. Oh fuck, did I take it out? What the actual fuck? Hello? Are you alive? Okay, it's working now. It's resurrected.
Call after. You can also freeze the wave like this in mid lane. And you can also do this on top lane, of course. Am I gonna live? No, I mean, it's double kill, so it's okay.
I'm not really learning much from this. Yeah, not really learning much at all from that. Okay. Maybe if I search it again. I don't know, man, cause I wanna get into something that's at least descriptive somehow, so I can write it down on the notepad so that I don't forget. Damn, I'm telling y'all, my nose is crazy ruined. I don't know what's going on, man. Either there's two options: either I'm sick or it's from like work, cause I don't ever like sneeze this much, man. I don't know. I'm just about to pick one. I'm just gonna pick the most recent one. It's 2 years ago. Ain't that a setting I can do on here or not? Like, what am I looking for? Like sort, filters. That's right. Damn, was that? Oh my god, bro. What was I looking for? Should have working anyway. I caught that shit. The damn thing slipped out of my hand, but I caught it. Fuck it, bro. Where is this one that I just watched? Okay, yeah, we're gonna watch this one. Is this by the same guy? Sure is. Let's get a different guy.
Welcome to our 8th of this year's collaborations with Riot Games for Latin America. If you want to catch these guides in Spanish, then be sure to check out their channel here. Irelia is a champion that is up there with having the most tools of any champion to outplay your opponent in the game. With insane mobility and damage potential, she's a true carry champion in the right hands. The catch is that she's not so easy to master. In fact, there's often a super high 10% win rate difference between casual Irelia players and Irelia mains. Most champions in comparison have around a 5% win rate difference between casuals and masters, as the skill ceiling is often much lower. So, the rewards are very high when you master this champion, and in today's guide, we're going to drastically accelerate that process as you'll learn everything that you need to know to play Irelia, and the best part is that she's not nearly as mechanical as you probably think. So, there's a lot that you can actually learn here. First, we'll begin with her playstyle, then move into her power spike, some tips and tricks, combos, and finally her build to make sure you know everything needed to stomp your games with her. And let's kick things off with Aurelia's playstyle. Aurelia is one of the premier duelists in the game. She's got all the trademarks of a powerful 1v1 champion, such as mobility, insane DPS, lifesteal, outplay potential, etc. Starting right from the laning phase, you want to be trying to 1v1 your opponent to really exert your dominance over them.
Yeah.
There are very few matchups Aurelia can't.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Oh yeah, I have like twisty pins at work. I'm used to that. This one's a clicky. Oh wait, what the fuck? Did I go back?
Welcome to our 8th of this year's collaborations with Riot Games, where you know everything needed to stomp your games with her. And let's kick things off with Aurelia's playstyle. As champion, and in today's guide, we're going to drastically accelerate that process as you'll learn everything that you need to know to play Aurelia, and the best part is that she's not nearly as mechanical as you probably think. So there's a lot that you can actually learn here. First, we'll begin with her playstyle, then move into her power spike, some tips and tricks, combos, and finally her build to make sure you know everything needed to stomp your games with her. And let's kick things off with Aurelia's playstyle. Aurelia is one of the premier duelists in the game. She's got all the trademarks of a powerful 1v1 champion, such as mobility, insane DPS, lifesteal, outplay potential, etc. Starting right from the laning phase, you want to be trying to 1v1 your opponent to really exert your dominance over them.
Yeah, but I also heard like this is very, very crucial that like if you don't level up fast enough, like you don't get enough items or upgrade yourself, like that 1v1 might be very, very, very hard, because from what I read, like she's pretty good like with damage scaling at like early game and mid game, but late game I hear she's really kind of got to be decked out to be able to like keep up or win 1v1s. Like I mean that's just what I hear, Okay, let me finish this. I'm ready to play. I'm like building up the fucking.
There are very few matchups Aurelia can't just steamroll through with her ridiculous passive, and it doesn't stop there. Once the lane phase ends, this playstyle should continue. Ideally, you want to try to constantly find 1v1 or even ridiculously outnumbered fights in a side lane, depending on how strong you are. The more people that you can keep forcing to come deal with you, then the easier it's going to be for the rest of your team to get objectives on other areas of the map. The best part is that Aurelia doesn't share the weakness of most dueling side lane champions in the game. Champions like Fiora, Tryndamere, and Jax can actually struggle quite a lot when it comes to teamfighting, making them a bit one-dimensional, where they kind of have to split push all game. Not Aurelia though. Her ultimate has insane impact when it comes to teamfights, and she can instantly delete squishies when she gets on top of them. She brings a ton of stuff that other duelists don't have: an AoE stun, on-demand damage reduction, and nearly unlimited mobility. All of these qualities make her a lot less one-dimensional than most other champions like her. Alright, moving on, as far as power spikes go for Aurelia, there's only one that you really need to care about, which is when she completes her first core item, which is usually going to be Blade of the Ruined King. Of course, most champions spike when they complete an item, but Aurelia becomes much more powerful because it unlocks her Q resets much more easily. We'll dive into this further on into the guide, but once she has one item, Aurelia no longer needs to pre-prep caster minions to Q reset off them. Once she's level 9 with a completed item, she can usually start killing caster creeps from full health with a single Q.
Still so fucking itchy. Like, I literally cannot stop scratching my nose. It's getting rather annoying. If I've not already said that 5 times.
Allowing her to dash around minion waves with much greater ease. Alright, let's delve into the massive chunk of tips and tricks that are required to play this champion. To maximize Aurelia's potential, it's not about having crazy mechanics. You just need to have all the knowledge centered around making the most out of both her passive and Q resets. Putting it simply, whenever Aurelia has her passive stacked, then the huge amount of AD and attack speed that she gets makes her nearly impossible to fight back against. Likewise, having what feels like infinite dashes makes getting away from her during that timing difficult as well. So
that's what I'm trying to like get better at, like right off the bat, is like keep like using the minions to my advantage. And especially with this champion, like that Q, you can just zip like dash around wherever the fuck. Like that can be tricky. Like if you get really good, then that can be crazy hard to defeat. Obviously I'm not there yet, but you know, probably won't ever be super good at League. I do enjoy playing though. It's very fun. Oh god, what do we got? Wait, so where did this come from? Also, this is probably gonna be. What time is it right now? It's probably gonna be a little bit longer than usual, just because it is the weekend, and I do want to try and maybe here in a little bit, you know, see if the boys want to hang out, play something. And specifically, a little bit of damn Rust for a fact. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing that naval update. So basically, you can just build a houseboat or a floating fortress. I don't understand why my nose is still itchy. It's so annoying though. I've been like nudging it like every fucking 5 seconds. Why is it? You know what? I think I know why this is really giving me trouble right now. Is because my iPad specifically last night just updated to 1.26 for iPad OS, and I do think it's very cool. But there's like slight changes in my workflow, like how I use this thing. But it still works fantastic. Like I personally think 26 was pretty damn good. And that's like just for encountering like the little stuff. Like the more I use it, I'll definitely get better at it over time. Maybe if I could stop smacking the microphone. Okay, yeah. Also, we're just gonna play it.
So let's delve into what you need to know to make the most use out of these two strengths. Without a doubt, one of the most important things to understand as Aurelia is utilizing minions as kind of a passage to reach your opponents. Remember that your Q will reset whenever you last hit minions with it. Throughout the laning phase, you want to be aware of low health enemy minions that you can use to gap close to your opponent without expending your Q's cooldown. That way, you may save it to chase even further, allowing you to stick on targets for a tremendous amount of time. To take that a step further, you can actually do something known as minion prepping. Basically, you're just doing your own minion's job for them. If you think you'll have a kill opportunity soon, then you may want to consider auto-attacking a minion that you know your opponent will stand close to shortly. Just like before, instead of waiting for a passage to open for you,
Yeah, like you can dash through all of these guys and you'll come out behind them, or like vice versa. And like kind of what he's saying is he's getting the minions down to a certain point to where like they're super low health and you'll be able to one shot Q them. And hold on, what's up? Yeah, you sound like a bot, man. You probably are. But I'm not gonna add you on Discord though. Thanks for stopping in. Forgot what I was
you just
gonna
make
say.
one yourself in advance when you know that you'll have a kill opportunity. Usually this is best when you have your passive fully stacked or some other advantages, like a level lead. In this case, Aurelia had both. Thanks to the prior minion prep, she's able to close the gap and score an easy
Minion prep. That's the phrase I forgot. I'm still learning all the fucking lingo and whatnot of this game.
first blood. A major reason why this tactic works is because players tend to be very oblivious about what Aurelia is doing for some reason. Technically, minion prepping is pretty obvious, but for some reason, when you walk backwards in lane, it gives your opponent a false sense of security. Sometimes, even though they literally just watched you hit a minion to prepare it, they'll still walk right up next to it and allow you to engage with ease. Of course, you can't always prepare minions before you look for and engage though. Knowing specific timings for when you can instantly prepare minions yourself through your abilities is going to be very beneficial for you. The simplest and best way to prep minions is going to come from your W. You can quickly get caster minions low enough so that you can dash to them to get your Q reset. There are 3 timings that you'll want to learn for this trick, at levels 4, 5, and 7. At level 4, you'll need to hold your W down for basically its entire duration, otherwise the caster creeps won't be low enough to kill. At level 5, you can hold your W down for about half its duration to guarantee the Q reset. And finally, at level 7, especially if you've already based for more damage, you can just tap your W and instantly get Q resets available. You should be very sure to learn these timings by heart, as using W to reset is incredibly important for a lot of Aurelia's all-in potential. Along the same lines as the W prep is the R prep. Your ultimate does damage to minions that it passes through as well. So you can just R your opponent, and then you have a very convenient passage to your opponent through the caster minions right next to them. This is slightly less relevant as your R already gives you a mark on your opponent, but based on what we'll talk about later, it can be very useful to know this. Alright, so as for the actual mechanics to take down your opponent, there's one thing so many Aurelia players get wrong. One of the worst things that you can do as Aurelia is be impatient with your E. Remember that one of the main points that we're making throughout this guide is just how strong Aurelia is with her passive up. The damage through her auto attacks alone is crazy high, which should usually force your opponents to run away when you've got it fully stacked. What you want to do when you've got the upper hand on your opponent is just press your E once, then chase them down with auto attacks. Your opponent is going to be so preoccupied dodging your E that they'll just be juking back and forth, staying in your auto attack range for longer. Finally, once you've got a good read on their movement, you throw out your E and finish them off. And as a quick side note, keep in mind that your E is a ranged ability that you have the luxury of trying to land before deciding to go in. A mistake new Aurelia players make is queuing in, then trying to land their E, in which case, if it misses, they have already committed to the fight, whereas if you fish for E's until you land it and then go in, you remove that risk. Alright, next up is learning just exactly why all the Aurelia plays you see in montages look so crazy. The Aurelia is always dashing around everyone, dodging everything. How can you possibly do?
Okay, I think I have seen this video, but give me one moment and I will take a leak and then return.